Freedom is happening. Quebec announces that they are dropping plans on taxing the unvaccinated, all as Canada's soy boy prime minister remains hiding under his desk. In this video, we're going to take a look at the amazing developments coming out of the Freedom Convoy. We're going to see how Justin Trudeau's pathetic attempts at slandering the truckers is backfiring big time. And stick me to the very end of this video when I'll reveal what's really happening all across Canada. You are not gonna want to miss this. Greetings, everyone. Dr. Stevie with you. Great to be with you as always. I am your daily fake news antidote as each and every day I provide patriotic analysis to help you to think better so you can feel better in these crazy and turbulent times. So if you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe. But before we begin, gang, you know, we talked about this yesterday in our morning video. I got to admit, I've got one main concern about the midterm elections. In fact, it's a concern that really makes me upset every time I think about it. As you know, this past weekend, I shared the stage with President Trump, and I was surrounded by the most amazing, awesome, hardworking patriots who are desperately fighting to defend our freedoms at local levels all across our nation. But we all agreed there's one disgusting thing that could sabotage all our efforts. And you know who that is. It's a group of Republicans known as rhinos, right? You know who I'm talking about. Republicans in name only. These are politicians that take credit for all the good patriots have done, while at the same time never missing a chance at stabbing us in the back by defending the status quo. Rhinos are not our friends, and the midterm election rides on eliminating them. I'm officially dubbing February as Rhino Hunting Month, and I need your help. I have something in the works for you to help me report a rhino and then take action against them. And I'm going to be telling you more about how to report on them in the coming days. So in the meantime, please begin identifying the rhinos you want out of office all over the country, and stay tuned on how we're going to do just that. You're going to absolutely love it. All right, gang, let's dive right in here. You know, we do have some amazing developments going on with the Freedom Convoy in Canada. The Premier of Quebec, François Legault, has announced that he is officially scrapping a plan to tax the unvaccinated. Originally, if you didn't know, Quebec was actually considering levying what they called a, quote, health contribution on the unvaxxed because of the supposed financial burden that they were imposing on the rest of society. The plan, as of today, has now been scrapped. The premier said Tuesday that he was convinced that such a proposal was clearly dividing Quebecers, and his role as premier is to foster unity and fraternity, not division. And so, as of today, the plan to tax the unvaxxed has been officially scrapped. Now, amazingly, that's just the beginning. The province of Ontario, along with Quebec, is now lifting COVID restrictions as of the other day. We have to remember that Ontario and Quebec combined account for about 60% of Canada's population, so this is a huge development. Reuters is reporting that Ontario removed a number of restrictions on businesses as of Monday of this week, allowing restaurants, malls, cinemas, and the like to start operating with a 50% capacity, with further curbs being relaxed over the next few weeks. Moreover, the Premier of Saskatchewan has announced that he's scrapping the proof of vaccination requirement by the end of this month, saying that the vaccine no longer protects people against Omicron transmission. Now, of course, a number of doctors have come forward disagreeing with that assessment, but the Premier appears to have made his decision and it's final. So obviously the Freedom Convoy is working. As we talked about on Monday's video, the world has witnessed over the last week the amazing Canadian trucker Freedom Convoy crossing the nation 7 kilometers or 40 miles long, 70 kilometers, 40 miles long. They've traveled from the west of the country to the east. They're settled in the capital of Ottawa, and they have effectively shut the capital down. And they're calling for their embarrassing Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, to resign and for all mandates to be lifted. And as we're seeing, this is, at least in some semblance, happening. Twitter lit up with celebrations of the announcements. A traditional Canadian girl writes, quote, "Guys, this freedom movement is working. Quebec is dropping the taxation of the unvaccinated. I can't believe that was ever a thing, but the tyrants are breaking. Keep pushing. Freedom is winning." Amen to that. Another tweet read, "This is a major reversal and huge climb down from Legault. Anyone who was at the protest would have immediately noticed the very large number of people from Quebec, from far-flung places in the province, not just Gatineau and Montreal. Tim Pool tweeted out, "The great honkening is working." I love it. And really, just to underscore what's happening here, I mentioned the premier of Saskatchewan dropping the vax mandate and proof of vaccination. Well, look at this. He tweeted out an official statement of support for the truckers and the Freedom Convoy. In other words, either overtly or covertly, we are truly beginning to see Canadian officials back down and surrender to the demands of the Freedom Convoy. It's absolutely astonishing. And as one tweet had pointed out, it's happening faster than anyone could have imagined. Now, for his part, Soyboy Trudeau remains in hiding. And you're not going to believe what he actually said about the Freedom Convoy. But first, make sure to click on the link below and check out our amazing merch store that you can support this channel with. We got some of the best designs in the world, like our brand new Let's Go Brandon t-shirts. They are absolutely awesome. We got some of the best Patriot gear out there where you can pick out something that spreads hope and supports my channel here at the very same time. But these designs are not going to stick around for long, so make sure to click on that link in the description below and both support me and spread Patriot hope, and I cannot thank you enough for it. We're going to have to get some Canadian trucker shirts. All right, so Trudeau remains in hiding. He and his family have moved out of Ottawa to an undisclosed location as the truckers take over the capital city. They're citing security concerns. But that hasn't stopped Trudeau from releasing statements that truly border on the completely absurd and asinine. He's calling the Freedom Convoy a, quote, insult to truth. Trudeau said, and I quote, "Over the past few days, Canadians were shocked and frankly disgusted by the behavior displayed by some people protesting in our nation's capital. We're not intimidated by those who hurl insults and abuse at small business workers and steal food from the homeless. We won't give in to those who fly racist flags. We won't cave to those who engage in vandalism or dishonor the memory of our veterans. There's no place in our country for threats, violence, or hatred." And he steadfastly confirmed under no circumstances is he going to meet with the convoy of protesters. That's right. There will be no concessions to those evil, racist, neo-Nazi fringe truckers. That's right. The Trudeau administration is steadfast. Under no circumstances will we negotiate or compromise with any group that would even dare at hint at inflicting a smidgen of racism and violence in our society. Now, if you excuse me, I'm off to a meeting with fiery but mostly peaceful Black Lives Matter protesters. What a clown. Well, unfortunately for Trudeau, what's happening in Ottawa right now is really beyond his control. Like we talked about on our video on Monday, this is the populist revolt we've been waiting for from Canada, right? We've talked about it for ages. We've always known it was there, these populist sentiments that yearn for freedom from the tyrannical dictates of the permanent political class. We've always known this, but we had yet to see it. We had yet to see a massive display of true Canadian populism where the people rise up en masse against a corrupt political and media aristocracy that rule according to their own interests and concerns at the expense of the interests and concerns of the people. Well, now those days of waiting are indeed over. Canadian populism has finally boiled to the surface, and the whole world is witnessing it. And it's uniting populists all over the world, from President Trump to Elon Musk to European nationalist leaders. We're even seeing support from such milquetoast Canadian conservatives like Aaron O'Toole and Doug Ford. The Freedom Convoy is galvanizing a populist movement throughout Canada like never before, and it's scaring the living hell out of the permanent political class. Now, before you go, you will definitely want to check out my latest video I just uploaded on how the media is panicking as a new January 6th inspired insurrection is indeed happening and triumphing all over the nation. You are not going to want to miss this. So make sure to click on the link, and I will see you over there. God bless.